Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the host of the program. And this is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate. And it does it with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, when home sellers are planning to put their homes on the market, how does a home seller handle a shifting market? If it's the right time to sell or not, you've got the insight on that. Give it to us.
Well, Richard, most people don't sell a home very often, and some have never sold a home at all. So it's not the same as selling a car. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of preparation. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of people involved with the whole thing. And so what we've seen really is that technology has changed a lot in the last 10 years. That's why you're seeing all these lawsuits going on, because they're like, wait a minute, hold on. So technology has changed a lot. What I mean by that is the imagery of homes has gotten so high quality that the buyer is making their decision about whether or not they even want to pursue that home based on the pictures that they see online. And they're seeing the pictures, they're seeing everything around it. They're seeing the price, they're seeing what Zillow thinks it's worth. They're seeing all this data that's making them decide, should I even bother to drive by? Should I even go look at the home? Does it work for me? Should I waste my time? That's a big shift that we've seen in the last 10 years. That's why it's so important who you hire when you go on the market. You can't have average pictures. You can't have average marketing. You have to really stand out, especially with the inventory rising like it is right now. So that's why the agent handling the sale really makes a difference. And here are the cold, hard facts. Inventory is up by 20% just based on seasonality. As we go into the summer, inventory is going to go up a lot more. And if we don't have the sales to absorb the inventory, the only net result is going to be that the prices are going to come down. That's why it's so important to price your home right out of the gate, very, very realistically versus optimistically. The other thing that's happened, sales are dropped by 14%, almost concurrently with the rates going up by 1.4% as compared to what they were a year ago. Inflation is up, and you know what? The rates are not going to come down. I don't care what CNBC or all these channels say, it's not going to happen. The interest rates are going to stay the same, if not go higher through the rest of the year. So how long does it take to make this happen really depends on how prepared the home is for sale and whether or not it's priced, what I call very realistically versus optimistically. Marketing plays a role in it, but most sellers don't necessarily want a marketer. They want to get their home sold, but marketing is a piece of it. And we know that buyers eliminate homes based on the online presentation in less than 1 minute. That's all you have. People grab their little smartphones and then boom, boom, boom. It takes them seconds to go, nope, nope, don't want that one, moving on, right? So the first picture has to be the best by far, without a doubt, followed by the next and the next and the next. I actually had a client recently tell me, she goes, each house gets 5 clicks. If they don't impress me for 5 clicks, I'm done, right? That's very normal. I think the attention span of people now is down to, I was told this morning, down to 8 seconds. That's not a lot of time. So preparation is absolutely critical when you put your house on the market. They did a study, and this is 4 years old now. I'm sure it's probably even less time than that, but it showed back then that the average buyer looks at one house and spends less than 1 minute on the home. And they look at the outside, the curb appeal, the backyard, the view, the living room, the kitchen, the master bathroom, then the master bedroom. So if you don't get those pictures right, or you bury them with 20 outside pictures, including the overhead and the back door and all that stuff, you're going to lose the buyer. They're like, oh, come on, I just want to look at a house that I want to see. The unfortunate thing is most agents actually spend less than $129 a month on marketing. And I don't even think they're spending money on business cards, to be honest with you, because I can't get them to leave a business card when they're showing my occupied homes. Don't you think that's rude, Richard? you've gone into somebody's house, right? I asked them to leave a card, but they don't leave a card to tell the seller when they come back from the home, were they there or not? Isn't that
That
weird?
is absolutely rude. And I don't get it. I mean, I would think if I were starting in real estate, if I weren't going to do anything else and all I was going to do is spend $120 a month on marketing, I'd buy some cards.
Yeah. I mean, they might cost $49 at Vistaprint to get 1,000 of them. And if you're showing 1,000 homes, you should be making a little bit of money, I hope. Anyway, so promotion is absolutely critical. You know, how the home is presented to the market. That includes the quality of the photos, absolutely critical. And really, nobody knows who is eliminating these homes based on the photos, but you can pretty much guess when you see photos of all this junk in the house, or it just sometimes it just jumps out at you. People take pictures of the inside of pantries when they're living in the home. It just doesn't look good. Now, I think I've only seen one pantry that had food in it that was photo worthy, but even that was kind of marginal, and that looked spectacular. If we know that buyers are deciding that a majority of the homes that they're just viewing online are ones that they're deciding not to go see, how do you get picked as the homes that they do want to see? And that has to do with how effectively the agent that you pick actually markets the home. So if you're thinking of making a home, you want to make sure you find the agent that actually invests in really marketing your home correctly. You also have to be the best home on the block. That involves preparation, staging, fixing broken stuff. People are not going to accept the home if it has old tired carpet. People are going to turn their nose up on the home if it's dated. And if the home is not dated and it's not selling, it's price. It's got to be price. There's no other reason. But make sure that your agent presents the home in the best possible light, including professional photography, virtual tours, all kinds of ads where people have access to the information without having to slog through all these different websites. And let's start with marketing a home that might need some repairs. So I think that a lot of people are probably get so used to seeing their home like it is that they feel like it's okay. And a buyer will accept that the carpet is tired and old, or they'll accept that the doorbell is broken, or they'll accept that the deck is tired and broken and needs paint. Sometimes it's just a little thing that's enough to make a buyer say, no, thank you. I don't want it. It needs too much work. So what we do is we actually provide experts, and we get an outside third party professional to come in and take a look at your home and actually give you a checklist, room by room by room by room. Do this, remove that, pack that away, put that in storage, so that when the buyers come in, it looks like a model home. And I've had a lot of people say, after they're done, they do everything that they're asked. They're like, it doesn't feel like anybody lives here. I'm like, no, just trust me, it looks great. And those are the homes that get multiple offers. That's why we offer these staging services. And there's different kinds of staging. I've seen staging where people bring furniture in. I've seen really weak staging where the agent brings in a blankie or two and sticks a blankie in a corner of a room and calls it good. That's not staging. Okay, the whole idea of staging is to get the buyer to visualize themselves living in the room. So that means you have to have them visualize furniture in the room and to be able to figure out what is in the room. This is not staging. I have a picture of a room here with all kinds of, they look like lazy boy chairs, the little doily with a table that's full of junk, the dog toys on the floor. That's a mistake. There are so many buyers that say if they're going to present their home that way, I don't even want to go see it because there's probably a lot of other problems. Staging is really, really important because the buyer wants to look at it and go, oh, that looks nice. I want to go see it, right? That's how you get homes sold in a week. Even empty homes should be staged somehow because it's kind of an artistic talent to be able to see what a home looks like. If you look at an empty room, you can't figure out what size the room is, whether or not your furniture is going to fit. That's why we do all kinds of staging to really present the home and give it a wow factor, because we have to create demand. Back in the old days, before we had all this high quality imagery, There were no pictures, or the pictures weren't good enough for a buyer to make a decision. So on average, they would physically go in and look at least 40 homes. Now the average buyer is only physically going in and looking at 5 and picking one. So you have to make sure you hire the agent that knows how to avoid online buyer elimination. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Barb has the buyer's team and the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. So we're talking about how to get the home sold when the market's softening, and how we can guarantee. Next up, what we're going to cover is some steps on how to do that, as well as how we can guarantee the sale of your home at your price, a price acceptable to you, or I'll pay you the difference. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. She is your real estate voice and the host of the program. You can always call her or text her at 719-301-3900. And we're talking about selling homes while the market is shifting. So, Barb, why is it so important to set up your home to be the most attractive home?
Well, if you have less than a minute to make an impression, and typically it's just one impression before they're moving on, you have to get that right. Also, buyers fall in love with homes online first before they actually go down the road of physically going to look at it. The other thing that happens is you want to make sure you have tools where they can kind of get a bird's eye view, either interactive floor plans or virtual tours, so they can get a feel for what the layout is, because the still pictures do not give you that perspective at all. So a lot of buyers want to tour the home in their fuzzy bunny slippers. There are quite a few buyers that buy homes or become determined to buy a home sight unseen. They may have a friend or whatever go look at it. That's why professional photography and all that's critical. Also, how you present the home online with imagery, get the bird's eye view, the drone imagery, that sort of thing. But let's say the house is not pretty, okay? If the house is not pretty, it's okay to even make those pictures as pretty as you can, but there has to be a price for that, right? There has to be a price for a home that is pretty. But if you overprice a home that is pretty and has something special like views, buyers are going to turn their nose up at it. I just sold a home recently up in North County where basically they priced it according to similar sales that did not have views. Now they have spectacular views. We went on the market, had a huge crowd at the open house, had a bidding war, and it sold for $25,000 over asking price. The other thing that's very, very important is you don't have to show every little nook and cranny in the house. Leave something for a little bit of a surprise. Same thing on the inspection. Leave something for the inspector to fix, just to give them a reason to justify their job. But you want to make sure whatever's online is attracting the buyer, not repelling the buyer. And the most important factor by far, if the market is softening and your home is not selling, and it's marketed right, it's absolutely price. It doesn't take a whole lot to adjust the price to actually create a bidding war. And I've done that before. I had a home up in Monument a year or so ago, and it was an older 80s time warp. It had the mauve carpet, the whole thing. And so they asked me, what should I do? I said, well, I would make the flooring neutral, clear it out, we'll virtually stage it. We did all that. And they said, should we remodel the kitchen? I said, no, it's going to cost too much money. And then when you go up in price to overcome that, you won't be able to top the high-end new custom homes down the street. So they just priced it right. They priced it under 900,000. We had 85 people at the 1-hour open house, and it sold for 75,000 over asking price. That's all about marketing and positioning, both with marketing and with price. So if you are thinking of making a move, we help our clients do that every day. Give us a call at 719-301-3900. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She is your real estate voice and the host of the program and the proprietor and owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. If you're thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900. You can text her there as well or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. Short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about, will the NAR lawsuits end 6% commissions plus Barb's hot new listings?